Join us every week for coaching and Q&A. You'll learn how to get more listings signed and sold following the simple and fun easy listing method. Plus, find hidden gem tips and get motivated as you surround yourself with like-minded peers in this weekly mastermind. Let's jump in.
Well, it's good to see everybody. I trust everybody had a good week. Last Thursday was, I thought, probably one of the best topic Thursdays that we had. I mean, my lady ended up sick, so it kind of gave all of us a chance to talk about the market conditions because it's switching at a rapid pace. And it's going to take the interest rates coming down a little bit to get them back into a neutral position. So all of those things we got to be aware of. Out of this stuff that we're learning in these new combination of people we brought into the business, Greg brought up a thing called Pre-Flight Monday. So starting next week, and we'll send you out an email regarding, is going to be to come in and we are going to figure out prices together on new listings. How does that sound? Thought it was kind of a cool concept.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, to help collaborate on price and figure out bucket pool, because those are sometimes I just think, it takes a little bit more, experience to get those things right, especially during the shift, right? The shift is weird. And so it's a whole kind of like a wobbly legs. We got to figure it out. And I think the collective approach is the way to go.
So I am really looking forward to that. And I think for you guys, I think some of the best training events that we've done, the interactive where we are solving each other's problems. So that being said, be ready for it. Michele, I'm going to start with you. You had an open house over the weekend. Wins or losses with your open house? Feedback? Did you pick up any leads?
I had, let's see, about 20 people showing up. I had 4 people that were 4 parties that were interested, one of which is not represented. And let's see what else. And so there's one potential lead, and then there's 2 others that were, but their potential leads, they weren't necessarily very interested in the house per se, or they didn't give me real positive on the house, but they didn't have agents.
So how many people have you trounced through the house?
I've had now about 80 plus the outside showing, so I'm probably closer to the 100 party mark by now.
Okay, and have you received any pre-qualifications?
No.
Okay, and you're still priced at?
It said $595 plus a 7% premium.
Okay, so what would that take the price to?
I think it was like $625, $630.
Let's not think. Let's see what it is.
Get my calculator out.
41, 650.
636, 650.
How much?
636, 650.
Okay. All right. Market value on the home. We know that there was one the same size for that sold 675 completely redone. What's your plan with the seller? Doesn't look like anything's going to happen with that. When your event stop? Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow evening, yes.
So what happens if you don't get any offers?
Then we'll talk to the family and explain if we don't have any offers. We'll just, I'm thinking we'll just pull it off and wait till it's a seller's market, unless she really wants. I do have one family that's very interested. They looked at it. They stayed a long time at the open house Saturday. The agent called me before I left, and they came back and looked at it again yesterday. So fingers crossed on that one. But I'm thinking that if she really has her heart set on a certain price point and has a dollar figure in mind, have that conversation that you want to just wait and keep doing maintenance and taxes and utilities on it between now and whenever interest rates change, and hope you can get that.
So let's help Michele. Gabe, what would you do with the seller in this case?
I mean, you said what market value? I'm sure what she's hoping. You said market another one sold for 675.
Yeah, completely redone, and this home needs a couple $100,000 of work.
Yeah, I mean, I would say try and, you know what I mean, see if you can like shock the system. You know what I mean? See if, I mean, I know she's probably already way lower than what she wants to be, but
Mhm.
you know, I
Yeah.
mean, if you go down, you know, maybe 10, 20 more $1,000, you know, get, I don't know, I guess more people in or more people interested. Hopefully, I mean, maybe you can bring them an offer and get a couple of people, you know what I mean, involved in that bidding war. I mean, it only takes a couple of buyers to start shooting that price up.
Okay. Marty, what do you say? Give Michelle some feedback. Hello, Marty Matthews.
Oh, Marty. Well, I think trying the shocking approach might work. I don't know that they're willing to go down.
Right.
Okay. Michele?
Just to clarify, Michelle, you said that the house needs a couple $100,000 more worth of work.
To be in prime condition, yes.
What do you think? What's the offer at right now?
595 plus 7%, so a total of 636,
And
650.
it's worth 675.
It can be. It's in a
So
great
$200,000 of work.
Yeah. It's in a great location. It is livable. It's not like it's condemned or anything. It's
Yeah, I
quite
get you.
livable. And people could remodel as they go, as they choose.
That offer, if it needs a good bit of work and they're not happy with 625, that might be a conversation to have with the seller. That's something that I would talk about. I would talk about the work. I might have an actual contractor come out and give her quotes and say, look, this is the best we could do with what we have. But if you see right here, this is the money that it would cost to get this fixed up. So we can try and do it again and wait for it. But realistically, this is what it would cost to fix, and this is the offer we have. So that might be the conversation you want to have.
That's good advice. And there's no offer on it yet.
Can I
Kat?
clarify something? Oh, I'm sorry, Robert. You're going around. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Kat, any advice for Michelle?
I would say the other alternative to just being a pricing solution is what marketing was done to attract buyers that might be looking to move to this area. So are you doing any intent keyword type advertising, or is this just really anchored in the MLS boost?
More in the MLS.
So that would be the other thing is, attract more buyers with the outbound efforts rather than just alone do a price reduction.
It's good advice. Greg?
Well, I was gonna send it in the chat. I want to clarify something first. So is the house, or are you saying that this house is a 675 house or something like that after the 200K is invested?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's definitely a problem. Why would anybody buy a 600 box, put 200 into it and be into it for 800 and change when they're in a 600K neighborhood? Are they in a 600K neighborhood and it's worth 675? Why would I go 8 large when it's a 6 box? That doesn't make sense. But the other thing that doesn't make sense is why would you get such good turnout? 100 bodies? I don't know. I don't understand that either. Why would you get 100 bodies and not a single prequal? That to me is another kind of break in chain. You're doing good. You got the listing. You did boom Thursday. You did your stuff. 100 people over this 5 days is great. I know you said it was like 20 here and 20 there and 30 there, but so what? And not one prequel? That's suspect number 2. The math doesn't make sense, but the 100 to 0 ratio doesn't make sense. Because if you see the pictures, and let's just put the weird math aside. I still don't understand that. But they saw the math, they saw the pictures, and they said, let's go look at it. 100 people. Not one prequel. That's weird. So I don't know if I have answers. I have questions.
So here, thanks, Greg. You're kind of coming
Sorry.
down the rabbit hole. No,
Sorry.
that's actually where I wanted to end up on this. Is that
Mhm.
in this market, you guys, when you let this, and we were all guilty of this, when you let the seller dictate the price to you, and in this case, Michelle not only had a seller, but this is family, and it's much more difficult to, she's got a brother-in-law that sticks his nose in where it didn't belong. and you had some other agent come out and say the home was worth $695,000. He goes, I'm going to list for $695,000.
It was back
These,
in like what, February, so things were a little harder then. But then they went south,
I don't know
right?
how the interest rates were up higher in February. I don't think they were hotter then,
Oh, you don't think so? Okay.
not by the stats that I look at every month. So it's playing the game with the seller. It's not doing the listing presentation from start to finish so that they understand exactly what the site does. It's not showing the the bidding from before. It's not a lot of times when we get ourselves into trouble, it's because we're not doing the processes that we've laid out for you guys to do. Anybody that's not using that listing story with the actual purchase sale agreement, with the actual offers that are made on the site, with the actual closing statements, you're not doing your seller a justice, because your seller doesn't, they just think it's a gimmick. It's really important to tie in reality into this, because by the time you get done, your sellers got to understand, especially in a declining market, right? They've got to understand. I mean, she hasn't hit bottom yet. You know, she's not at our place here that we've lowered down $300,000, and still nobody's looking at it. It's finally now less than the kids paid for the place. And I went to war with the kids. Yeah, Paul.
I wanted to wait till all the traditional responses were, but would this be one you'd ask an ovation expert to take a look at and see if you can throw something in terms of improvements at it, and then get split the difference or something like that, so they get a little bit more out of it, but you also make money as an REI guy? I don't know. I'm not an ovation expert, so I'm just thinking that might,
Well,
outside
Go
the
ahead,
box
Greg.
thinking.
that's a great idea. It's just the math is weird. The math won't work. Because if you don't bring enough money to the party in terms of renovations, like there's an S curve of rehab, right? And if you bring $1 to a house, you get no return on investment. But if you put $1 million into the average house, it's overdone, and you don't get your $1 million back. It plateaus, right? And so there's a sweet spot of, is it 200K? Well, can I get away with 150 and still hit some number? Or is it really 200? But again, even at 200, even if it's less 150, 650 plus 150 is 800K. It's just not an 800K house. Who would do that?
Yeah, I'm just throwing out ideas.
Retail, no, but it's a good idea. It's just the math is weird.
Michele, are there any options that you see that could help your mother-in-law get more money than she would get just letting it sit there? I don't think she wants to ride this thing down to the until the market changes. I mean, you're probably talking a year.
Yeah, I don't think it's feasible. And it's what I've told my husband. I said, if she has that high number in her mind, then are you and your brother going to keep going over there to do maintenance on the house? Is she going to keep paying taxes and utilities on the house? You guys going to still do the cameras and blah, 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 because those need to be charged every so often? That's just a lot of work for you and your brother to keep doing. And that's all the financial outgo to keep the power on for your mom and the taxes. And by the time she does that, and whatever time span goes by, has she actually made any money, or has she actually lost money?
So I'm thinking a couple things, because it seems like the biggest issue is that she has an unrealistic opinion about what the value is. We're definitely, in most places in the country, we're in a buyer's market. And so the positive thing is that you've had a lot of people come through the house.
Exactly.
And so, I would kind of have a come to Jesus moment with her about pricing and say, hey, let's get would you be open to get an appraiser to come and give an opinion of value? You could have a contractor to come in and say, hey, this is what the estimate is about how much work the house needs. You could do a reverse offer, because it sounds like you have one, buyer that has come a couple times looking at it. Maybe do a reverse offer, but the bottom line is that she's not realistic of what the actual value of the house is. And so you probably need another opinion of value from someone independent. So either an appraisal, and if they don't want to pay that much, maybe a broker price opinion or something like that, but just some other third party that would give, because you can't go off of comps that you got in February. It's a completely different market from February to where we are right now. And so maybe
Right.
getting another valuation, if they, not trusting, I mean, why have you to do it if they're not going to trust your opinion on pricing? But if you can get a third party to come in and give you some pricing, because it sounds like you've had a really good flow of people coming through. And so if you can do some reverse activity on some of those people with a new price, drop the price appropriately, you'll get it sold. And then if you do the math and show them what it's going to cost, the holding cost, and it's better to just bite the bullet and say, okay, let's just go ahead and get an appraisal done. And in that way, I mean, because no matter what she wants for it, if it can't appraise for that amount, especially with the amount of work that needs to be done, it's not going to happen. And so they have an unrealistic opinion on what the house is worth. And it's kind of like being on the spin it the hamster wheel. If they're not going to take a honest look at what the cost is, you're just wasting your time. They're wasting their money holding the property for all this additional time, and you're losing out on buyers that are coming through, because you're not short for buyers. You have a ton of buyers coming through. I'm sure if you did something aggressive with the pricing, you get a lot of offers.
Thanks, Terry. And Michelle, this is a learning curve for everybody.
Mhm.
But I thought some terrific ideas came out for you, and maybe you ought to consider doing that. Maybe the appraisal, maybe getting a contractor out there to give some
Right.
realistic prices. I mean, I think your mother-in-law would probably appreciate that. I think that's some good ideas.
Can I
So we're going to
It
move on
is.
to
Thank you.
the next one. So we've gone over that one, and I thought some great ideas came. So Michael, get ready. You're not next, but I'm going to call you after I talk to Michele. So Michele has a listing. Michele's got some offers on the site. How did your open house go, and did you pick up any leads? Give us the good news.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed doing this open house. I had 2 to 3 agents help me out with it, and I had a mortgage broker. It wasn't, there wasn't a point in time where everyone came in at once, but it was very steady flow. Like it was 4 to 5 people coming in. The neighbor early access preview, I didn't really get anybody to come from 10 to 12. I tried to do an event for that. I had one neighbor come in, and she was when I told her about the buyer's premium, she did not react well to that. But that being said, I didn't really collect many leads, but I've been getting good responses, so I'm mostly focusing on getting the price to bid up. I just talked to an agent who looked at the properties looking to submit offers, and I'm gonna start calling buyers at 4 p.m., potential buyers that came through. And I actually had someone who came in on Sunday who was like, "Are you doing more sales like this?" I was like, "Well, each sale gets my individual focus. So right now this is the only one." And he was like, "Well, let me know if you have more like this." So good responses. Good responses.
It's awesome. How many offers you have right now? Four?
I only have one offer. We did have a second. That's part of my concern, because I haven't done one of these before. My seller, they're willing to take less than what it's worth. It's worth 330. They're a flipper, so if they get 290, they're happy. I did have a second offer come in, but his pre-approval was only 260. So I'll be reaching out to him so if he can get something more, but hopeful, and I believe that we're gonna be able to bid up the price. But yeah.
Awesome. Good job. Thank you. Michael Graham. How did your shock the system go?
Haha, sir, yes, sir. So, not as many people at the open house that I was planning for or I had hoped for, but it was just so new to me that I didn't know what to expect. So, we didn't get the 100 people. We got 8 groups and probably 20 to 25 people. I did start at about 10 a.m. and I did have a couple people come by that were neighbors, not because I knocked or called. And I think that that's something that I need to do, knock, call, or send flyers, but I didn't do those things. But really, the price drop to 575 from the 739 was the thing that brought so many people for the open house. The open house was great. I think in preparing for this event, it was very helpful to get the seller on the same page with me, which was they're motivated to sell. What creative things are we going to do to get that to happen? And so in this process, we got the property staged. We negotiated with a company to pay in thirds. So he paid a third to get the staging there, and it made all the difference in the world. The property actually shows really well because of the staging. I think that if we would have been coming to market initially and not already had been on the market, it would have made a difference in the amount of people that showed up. Because when a market or when a house first hits the market, that's when it has the most amount of attention. So that affected us, right? Those 10 groups or 10 showings or 15 showings that I had the first few weeks or couple weeks, none of those people came, right? Maybe they already went under contract or whatever it is. Now I've got a plan though to follow up with all of those people and then everybody that came to the open house. There were at the open house qualified and interested buyers, which was good, very good, right? That was because sometimes you have open houses and you just have people like looky-loos, that aren't really qualified or just kind of nosy. And there wasn't many of those. It was mostly people that were qualified and actually looking. One couple did say they were eyeing the house. They saw me take it off the market and then come back on at 575. So I'll shut up, but I'll share this. My next strategy is to follow up with all of them and then entice that first offer to come in. My event ends on Wednesday. I want to get my first offer in today. I just got off the phone with the seller and he's like, hey, we were married to a certain price and getting what we got, but we're motivated. He's like, we'll take at this point somewhere between 625 and 650. And I think that that'd be a great deal for any buyer if they came to that. So my goal is to kind of find the first buyer that's willing to pay 625 and just have them put an offer in on the platform and then call everybody else and be like, yo, jump on this. I did give
What
3
feedback did you get from your buyers that came in?
that it was priced really well, way below everything else in the market, and that the house
Okay.
looked really nice. So, but I just feel like this hesitancy of like, who's going to be the first bidder, not me, kind of thing. Like, let's see what happens. There is one group with a realtor that came in. He called me beforehand, had a ton of questions, very specific questions about the solar. What I did and I'm just sharing all this stuff to hopefully help you guys. What I did because I've got a solar debt on it of 55 grand. So what I did was a split event fee. I'm drawing a blank on what it is, the premium. I did a split buyer premium where each side, listing side paid 3.5, seller side paid 3.5. The listing agent gets 2.5% commission and 1% to pay the event fee. And then 3.5% on the buyer side, 2.5% goes to the buyer agent, and 1% goes to do a buy down of the debt on the solar or to hire a resolution company that has a money back guarantee to get rid of the solar. So now I have these options for these people, and I would explain that when they would come in, like, hey, if you love solar, this is awesome, take it. Big energy saver. If you don't, here's 1% towards hiring this company, money back guarantee, they'll get rid of the solar debt. So it's like, I'm trying to cover all the bases that I can. The 3 giveaways, I just picked at random who came in, and then I just texted them, and I'll follow up with a call. I have another company that does portable shade, but anyway, I gave a cool portable beach shade to one and a dry bag for another and a camping chair for another. So I'm going to do another open house tomorrow afternoon to let those people come and pick it up. and then hopefully get the other people that have already seen the property early on, just call every single one of those and say, hey, I have the house open, just stop by. With or without your client, doesn't matter. You need to get an offering because this house will sell and somebody's going to get a really good deal. And that's
So
the
remember, one of the things that you can do right now when you call these people, hey, do your buyers love the home? Can I give you a little tip of the trade? That we've done many of these things. The seller is watching the website 724. You guys all agree that this is priced well below market value. And of course, they're going to say yes, right? And so don't come in at the 575, but go ahead and put in a reasonable offer. And if the seller sees something he likes, he can take it. You don't have to compete against these other, 8, 9 people that are interested. And that's always a good thing to keep reiterating through all of your leads there. Use the
Okay.
same rhetoric, and you don't necessarily have to compete with everybody. And a lot of times that'll help you get your first offer on
Yeah.
it. So, all right.
That's
Well
good.
done. Pretty creative. Michael Nikolai, did you have an open house? You're muted. We can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Still muted.
Well, his microphone looks like it's on. It's not on mute, so something's going on with his settings.
Yeah. Why don't you
Might
pop
be audio's
out?
not.
Right. So we've it's kind of fun to hear, about I don't necessarily like listening to losses myself. I think 6 new homes are on the website this last week. 4 of them have offers right now, and I anticipate getting more on those. So things are working out the way they're supposed to work out in a quote unquote buyer's market. I would make sure that your sellers understand the market conditions you're in. So, and I know, Gabe and our Florida friends have been dealing with this sellers market since the hurricanes, and they've got to do a lot of fancy footwork to get the sellers to understand, how the prices go in not only a buyer's market, but when insurance companies are pulling out, when we're getting right back into hurricane season here faster than expected. And these are all the things that even, whether we have hurricanes, fires, or, just basically a crappy buyer's market, these are all the things that we've got to help the sellers understand that we're either chasing the price down or we're chasing it up. And in this case here, we always want to be chasing the price up, never down. Never freaking down, not in a buyer's market. Honor. So, Mike, let's see if we can hear you now.
How about now?
Yep, you're clear.
Yay. All right. So my photographer didn't get me the pictures in time, so I wasn't really able to market it. So we decided to wait a week, and we're going to have the open house, on Saturday. So the question that I've got, oh, thank you very much for that, Michele. What is there? Okay. If I put the house on the market with our MLS, we've got a 3-day period of time where it comes in as a new listing. And that is the important time to have, get everybody in there to really hype up the open house. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I should not put it on the market any sooner than Thursday, so that on Saturday it's there.
Let's talk about that. We Mon and I, we like to do, in a better market than most cities in the US have, being up in Seattle. We utilize the Thursday, Friday, Saturday advantage. And I don't know how many when you put a new listing on your MLS, oh my God, what is the word I'm looking for? They send out what's that?
Syndication.
Syndicate. Yep. They syndicate like ours up here, say they syndicate to 16,000 other websites. Whether it's true, whether it's not, I don't know. But the other thing, if you were to start it on a Tuesday and have your open house on a Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting 3 better days for your bang for your buck on the open house because we're using one of the, when it rolls to Sunday, we're not getting the biggest bang of the buck for the open house on Sunday or Saturday. But here it's just because it's always frenetic about it and it's work. But you guys got to remember, as we start sliding into this buyer's market, you know, we've got a listing coming up. We're probably going to go 2 weeks on. And let's talk about it because one of the things that we preach as a company is you can sell your home in half the time. Well, if we understand what a buyer's market's doing and people that are chasing the price down, they're anywhere from a 45-day if they get lucky to probably realistically 180 days. So even if we go 14 days, we're still a quarter of the time less than everybody else, right?
Right.
And we can run a couple open houses and we can do some extra marketing and we can do extra things. You know, when we do an open house on Saturday from 10 to noon for the neighbors and then 12 to 4 for the consumers, the public, on Wednesday, we are out there talking to every neighbor in that neighborhood. And we're inviting them by, like I told you, I have a raffle, you know, a vacation that I give away for the neighbors, and I give a vacation away for the public. It's a good way to get them to sign up without being a headache for you. And if we're not doing in this time of the market and we're not doing these things that we need to do to promote the open house, then we are just doing something that every real estate agent does. That's why there's so many for sale by owners out there. They're not putting in the effort that the sellers think they need to do to give them the listing, right? I mean, when you think, yeah, say a $700,000 home, 2.5% commission, you're talking $28,000. It's a lot of money. Why wouldn't we go out there and give it our all? Yeah, always touching the neighbor. What's the benefit of touching the neighbors? Pick your own neighbor out. Yeah, and by the way, you know, I'm not charging the seller a commission. What? What are you, crazy? No, come on down to the open house. Let me show you what we do for real estate services. And you know, they come on down, then hey, you know, let me show you what I do. Give me 30 minutes in your home. Out there. But having the perception, you know, with tent set up, people in there to help them, a lender sitting there, everything is to help set you apart from every other agent that's out there.
So to put this on the market instead of put it on the market on Tuesday instead of Thursday is not going to really have a problem. So now, as far as the event goes, do we open the event when we put it on the market, or do we wait until Thursday?
Well, the way I would answer that is, Michael, what are things sitting on the market around? How much inventory do you have around your house? Like we have an agent in Arizona that was selling a home in Goodyear that had 150 homes for sale, you know, within a couple blocks. What's your inventory look like?
Within a mile, I've probably got about 20 to 30, so there's not a lot.
Okay, and your price below all those, you said 6% below the
Absolutely. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, so when I go into a listing and I say I'm going to do a 5-day turnaround, I generally know by the open house whether I'm going to stick with that or whether I'm going to add time on. If my phone's blowing up and I've got agents looking at it and I got people calling about the open house, and I know I'm going to have my 100 people there, I run with it. If I feel for some reason there's going to be, 25, 30 people, I'll extend it. And I'll extend it another week. Why?
Okay.
Because I got to do some better work and get some more people into the open house.
Okay.
Okay. So, but yeah, listen, everything's flexible, you guys. Your buyer's premium on that, Michael Graham, I mean, I couldn't be any more proud. We sat and talked, and he finally came out with something to help this solar system out on a higher priced home. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a success because they got buyers in there when they weren't getting them at the 725 or 77, whatever it was listed at. So at least we got your job is to get buyers in there and find out, determine what the market value is. Right? So
Hey,
yeah,
Robert.
Paul.
On that last comment, when you said that if you only got 30 or 40 and you wanted to get your 100, you'd say you put it on the market for another week and you do more work. Can you describe the additional work a little more clearly rather than, so I would, if I'm a new agent or even if I'm an existing agent, what additional work would you do that week that you didn't do the week before that you think is going to get them in there? Is it knocking on
So
doors? Is it, what is it?
no, it's everybody knows that I paid $25,000 to become a social media marketer. I'll actually throw some, a few $100 behind reach ads, a few $100 behind video views, and then I'll even go into Google and throw a few bucks at it. And again,
Oh,
why am I doing that? Because it takes it outside of the MLS and it'll bring people in to the open house or make a phone call or have the realtor come over. Hey, I'd like to. And the last homes that we didn't get a lot of traction on, there 4 of them sold utilizing that strategy.
okay. That's good to know. I appreciate that extra detail.
Perfect. And that class, between all the other bazillion things we're doing, we got to get that thing out there and get it going. And especially with all the great pieces Kat has that she's made. And I mean, this every week I just look at the website and just think, holy moly, man. We've got a great community, you guys, and we've got a ton of content. And every time I turn around, she unveiled a buyer's. Kat, what was the last 2 videos you did?
You talking about the updates to the buyer explainer?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are, you guys know in the compliance course, when we talk about the documents and details when you're doing your remarks and setting up your easy listing, you may or may not include an offer detail sheet. Robert always says, I never use an offer detail sheet because what do I do when I have someone interested in making an offer? I call them and I'm always selling. So I call the agent or the buyer if they're unrepresented and I ask about their finances, their terms, and get a feel for what they're looking for. For those that do choose to use an offer detail sheet, that's the simple way for an agent or an unrepresented buyer to not have to write out a full offer, right? They can just give you, there's contingencies, I want an inspection, here's a brief look at my financial condition, simple as pie. That's why we call it making an easy offer. But the video, the buyer explainer that we had said, send in the addendum and the offer detail sheet. We've made a version that doesn't specify that. We've also made it, I think, a bit easier for you guys to record your own. So if you were to go to the buyer explainer video page, there's the script from that video, which means you can just quickly record your own version. You're the face in the video. You get your brand equity in there rather than using Christy Amundsen, which, as lovely as she is, I think anytime you can put your face out there, you might as well get the free marketing. I'm going to drop that link in the description. Every listing you upload should have a buyer explainer video. Why? Just because you talk to someone at the open house and explain to them how the process works, when it actually comes time to do the thing, they're going to forget what you told them. They're going to be having the same questions all over again. And that friction, that hesitation, if there isn't a push there that gives them the confidence, they might say, I don't know, never mind. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait another week. So if you're not following up with them, if we don't explain this as much as possible, you could lose that offer that seemed like they were really interested in the moment to the wayside. So I think I saw Michele did an offer. John Froelich isn't on the call, but he did a buyer explainer video. I think Vince Urak, he's not here either. He did one, but I don't believe with the other active listings over the last 2 weeks that I've seen anybody using that explainer. You can use Chrissy's if you don't want to record. You can also quickly record your own by using the script we provide. So commit to doing that. It makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Kat. So let's open the floor. What are questions? Any questions anybody has? Any comments? Shondell, Boonington, everyone, yes. Yes, what?
It's just easier to say yes before somebody starts talking. Where would you put that link? Do you put it in the agent only remarks, or the MLS probably wouldn't let us put it in the other part, would they? About how to do the premium for the
Well,
bar.
you've got on your MLS, you've got 6 links that you can put into the MLS. One for virtual, one for, I mean, they give you we can do 6 of them. I put them in there and I do put them in the agent remarks.
Where is that at? I didn't know about that.
Well, Sean, I'm not gonna tie up everybody, but just give me a call. I'll show you where it is. It's on, it's there. Trust me.
Okay.
Good question. What else? What
And
else
it's
you guys
all
got?
it's also on the easy platform, right? Like you can
Yes.
upload that explainer video on there. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw
Tells you
that.
how to put it.
Do that.
Yeah, if you guys aren't utilizing the document section, the picture section, and the video section, shame on you. That's a huge feature for you guys.
The video explainer that's like templated by somebody, is that something you have to pay for, or you can just download and use that?
Oh, Michael.
So you can either, there's a generic version. So in a perfect world, every listing that you do, you can customize the template to include property pictures and details about the property to remind them which one it is at the time. And then
Okay.
again, you could either use Chrissy's video within that, or you can record your own and swap out the video portion using Canva. But we have 2 generic versions, the one with the mention of the offer detail sheet and one without the mention of the offer detail sheet. So make sure you keep in mind, am I going to include an offer detail sheet on my easy listing? Or am I just going to have them submit their pre-qual docs and the easy addendum before they make their offer? Whatever adventure you choose, you just follow the corresponding video. We have generic versions on our YouTube. That way, if you don't have the time or the will to create a
I'll do
custom
my
video,
own.
you can use whatever. But again, those generic ones won't have your listing information or your face. It'll be Chrissy and just explaining the basics of making an offer on easy.
Got it. Yeah, when I was doing some of the flyers, I just saw the Canva, and then something popped up I don't have a Canva account, so it was like, hey, and then it was like to buy Canva, and I just kind of exited out of that. I just wanted to get stuff done, but maybe I should look
Next time you see that, can you drop the link in the Facebook group, our member one? Because Canva made changes. There were things that used to be free. If someone with a premium account made the template and shared it, it passed through, but then they changed that about, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 months ago at this point, and we're still finding relics of that. So the solution is either swap out the element that wants you to, it's one picture on the page, probably a placeholder image. That's a premium element, and now we can't pass through our premium benefits to you. So you can either swap that element, or if you drop a link in the Facebook group so I can find it, I can just go and swap it universally in the template. I've gone through like dozens of ours, but haven't gotten all of them because there's no indicator that says, hey, these contain premium things.
Perfect. Thank you.
We don't charge you for anything extra, you guys. This what you sign on board. It's all we want you to do is take care of your family, pay your bills, and to use the platform. It's good people, and it's definitely the new way real estate should be sold, as Mona said so eloquently. What other questions?
I have a question. I just had a call with someone who's looking to submit a bid. His max pre-approval is 270, but the current offer is 268.5 with the buyer premium included. He wants to offer 270 and pay the 6% at closing, but on the offer site it's 272. I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to win it, but I do want to get as many people on the site with offers as possible. So I just tell him like, hey, it's not going to work out, or is there?
Well, unless he's got a way to make it work out and you agree with it and check it.
He
You
said
tell
that
Michele.
he said that he's willing to do a 270 bid and then he pays the 6% buyer premium at closing with cash.
So
If you have proof of funds, if he shows me proof of funds to go along with that pre-approval, then I can add those 2 together for him.
Okay, great.
I've done that before many times.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Awesome. Awesome.
And what's the best,
Teamwork.
Michelle, email address? Is that the best place to send documents at that point in time?
What I'm hearing from users is once they've submitted a document, they get that second document submitted online, or the second document of the same source or same type doesn't always work well on the website. So the info ad works well.
So info@easyrealestateplatform.com, Michele. He walked away. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, he
Here
got
you
it.
go.
I heard you.
That buyer's been on an email loop with us already this morning.
All right, you guys, we're at the end of the hour. Next week, Greg Bilbrough is going to lead us in Pre-Flight Monday. Come
So-
with your
Oh, I am?
listing.
All right.
Yeah, you're going to be our critic. You're going to be the buyer bucket pool critic.
Are we gonna create, because I've already got something created, but I didn't know if we were gonna, because I don't have like the easy branding and all that other stuff. Is this something, Kat, that you can you'll help me make and make it like corporate-y and look right? Or do you want me to just go and make my own thing?
Or you're talking about like the checklist.
Yeah, that?
Yeah, send me the bones.
Okay, good. Perfect. I'll send it to you right now.
There we go. That way you guys will have a paper copy of things to brainstorm. So if you want to do it on your own, if you're too shy, don't be too shy to raise your hand on any of these calls. But in case you are too shy, you'll have the checklist.
Too shy. Not this group.
So I do have just one question, and all it is like the length of the bidding events. I mean, I know obviously you said you had one, you did for 2 weeks, Robert. I mean, are you against, doing like a 90-day? Like, is
No.
there?
Listen, you guys, especially you guys up in your area,
Right.
you just got to make sure people know if the seller sees an offer come in that they like, it's it. Not going to 90
Right.
days there, buddy. Just so
Right.
anyways, it's you Florida folks. I mean, it's you're just in a tough marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, you guys get spared this year. You had enough crap over the last couple of years. It's ridiculous. So,
Fingers crossed.
so, all right. Anybody else got anything to say? Oh, hey, by the way, Greg, I do have a background for your pre-flight Monday.
Okay.
I'll send that out to you later on.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think you had mentioned that you were kind of having fun with the idea, the concept, and it was, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Everybody knows it makes a lot of sense, but Robert is also a pilot.
He used to be a pilot.
Well,
So.
okay, but the CEO is also used to be a pilot. Like, how does that not kind of just go well with each other? I'm not a pilot, so.
Guys, I have a question for the team. If you could do us a big favor and in the chat, type in your biggest challenge when you first started using the platform, or your top 2 or 3. That would help us a lot in terms of, changing or improving training and how we can help you early on. So if you could just do that, what was the biggest thing you didn't know, you were surprised by like a month later? I don't remember that, or I didn't know that, or the biggest disappointment you had, and did you find the root cause of the problem and what was it? Anything you can do to provide us some feedback so we can continue to work on things and make them, slicker would be really, really helpful.
And/or
Yeah, give the good stuff too.
Yeah.
Robert, I appreciate. I think we do like 90% great, but I'm just looking for the holes right now. Swiss cheese is very tasty. I'm looking to fill the holes. That's all.
I've got one more. Another, thank you for those that showed up. Does anyone have agent peers? And it doesn't need to be somebody in your market. It can be your referral partner, someone else that you want them to get in on this program as what we're calling an early adopter. If so, I mean, we're probably shutting this off in like a minute or so, but email me Kat with 2 T's, KATT at Easy Real Estate Platform, the agent you'd be interested in, and we can get them free enrollment. I mean, we're going to cut off this free enrollment thing. We're trying to get to a certain number. So if you have a referral partner that wouldn't want to pay several thousand to enroll in this program in the future, thank you guys for showing up. We can get you on board, but do that today. Do that in the next couple minutes or so we can reach out and get them enrolled in the remaining free enrollments.
I have a question in regards to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, oops, it's all loaded out. Okay. There's one called I'm with EXP, and EXP seems to do a lot of concentration on building a downline, right? What you guys have is fantastic, and I think that it is a very much a viable platform and a tool for recruitment as well too, to be able to build this downline. What I've seen a lot of the EXP agents doing is actually hosting in-person seminars showcasing some of the tools that they use in order to get more listings and whatnot, right? So this program that you guys have, it is excellent it's an excellent solution for, and you guys have already identified it, for FISBOs, for expireds, things like that, right? Like, I would like some help in trying to figure out how to build that and essentially put it on some kind of pitch deck and develop some kind of funnel system in order to capture agents that are suffering right now and looking for more opportunity to be able to get in front of these FISBOs and these expireds and stuff and say, hey, this is the tool that you guys need right here in order to go after those things, right? I know that you're trying to close this entry point sometime soon and stuff, right? But can we kind of develop a little bit of a workaround, or like essentially just build something based off of the premise that we can use this to be able to build our downline?
So enterprise, we have an enterprise program that's built for that. And just like you build your downstream with EXP, you can do the same thing with the enterprise. Our enterprise program can either complement what you're doing within EXP to recruit more agents to your EXP team. Or if they don't want to switch brokerages, you can still give them a seat in. If you buy enterprise seats with us and give out an easy seat, you can still earn revenue share on their transactions downstream. So obviously you'd get, extra benefits if they join your EXP team and take an easy seat from you and get listings on the easy platform. But you don't have to get past that final hurdle of getting them to switch brokerages.
No,
So, the reason, the mechanism behind that is our revenue share comes through a buyer premium fee. So it's not a commission referral split, right? Which is why it doesn't need to be any type of agent broker to broker referral. But as far as using it as a benefit, this is another thing that you'll have in your toolkit when you're on my team. You could take it all the way and say, I'll buy your seat on this platform so you don't have to pay for an enrollment. And, any marketing that I have, I'll extend to you. You just plug your own face on it and you're ready to go using this easy listing tool. So it's pretty easy to add on as a benefit. One thing I learned, Easy Agent Matt Chick started saying, rather than traditional listings versus an easy listing, he describes, and I love it and I've embraced it, he describes an easy listing as everything you get with a traditional listing plus the transparency, the visible competition, the shorter window to sale, the higher sales point, true price discovery, all these benefits. And you can pay me less with the 0% listing commission, right? So if you want to include that in your pitch to recruit people to your team, you're basically saying you would have access to the best agent USP ever, essentially. And it would be your choice. It'd be your choice how you'd want them to hold their seat. Do you want to buy their seat for them through the enterprise program? And remember, you can swap that out. So if you end up recruiting somebody and they don't perform with the easy platform, you can take your easy seat license and give that to a different agent. Hey, Robert, did you reschedule with the vendor from last week for this Thursday, or could you make that this Thursday's workshop?
She's in the hospital. She hasn't got out yet.
So how about that? Why don't we do this Thursday as the enterprise option? So everything about recruiting, building a team, and so you'll learn about how the platform works, the revenue share program, and then also how to use it as a recruiting tool.
All right, everybody. Good question, Ace.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody. Don't forget, topic Thursday is going to be on the enterprise.
I have a question. I was just wondering, sorry, Paul, I cut you off.
No, that's okay. Sorry.
I would have a question regarding marketing and trying to get listings. What's a good tool or a text message to say to someone? Is there anything listed anywhere, specifically Kat, that will help get more listings.
So you said text message, you're looking for wording. Like if you were to put together a text message or do some outreach, you're looking for the messaging.
Correct. Yeah. Or calling them and same thing. I think it would be the same language.
So I think our pitch pack would be the best place to start with that. It covers more than just outbound, like outreach for potential sellers. There's some other stuff in there as well, but it really gives you a quick elevator pitch, whether you want to send a text message, email, or like a direct message on LinkedIn or Facebook. Obviously, if you're doing an email, you'd want to use a subject line, but everything else can be reworked for either a text message format or a quick message on Facebook. So that's where I would start as far as just a quick pitch. If you're looking for a program, are you looking for a tool to do SMS?
Yes. Where would that be located, what you're identifying?
I dropped it in the chat, but you can also find it. It's like at the bottom of almost every one of our blog posts right now. It's like the big call to action. Or you can just search on the Agent Hub for pitch and it should come up.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Is that the prospecting Cat, or is there a different one now?
So you're thinking of the FSBO and Expireds prospecting pack that has letter templates and like longer cold call scripts. I can drop that as well. But the pitch pack has more, you can pitch any type of seller, not specifically FSBO or Expired.
Alrighty, thank you.
Love all this stuff. So
Okay,
cool.
so there's
All
the
right.
second link in the chat. Any recommendations? Who do you guys use for your SMS messaging? When I was still on the sales side, if I was texting someone, it was manual because it would have been right after I got off the phone with them. I wasn't really sending out SMS campaigns, but if anyone in this group is and wants to recommend, I know a lot of people use BombBomb. I don't know if that's still one of the leading tools for that. I believe it is. I still hear people mention it. But that's one, Shondell, if you're looking to do some automation. But make sure you follow TCPA and all of that compliance. You do not want to be the subject of ambulance chasing litigation.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
So, and don't forget about, we did a year ago, there was a class on video texting. I had kind of forgotten about that myself. And then Donnie Bennett resurfaced back up and sent a text message that he had sent out to a seller he didn't get in touch with. I sent it out to several of you. And then lo and behold, Quinn Greenlee says, "Oh my God, yeah, I kind of forgot about doing that." Quinn had gone out on one of our for sale by owner leads, didn't get it. And he ended up shooting that guy a video text afterward. And now he's supposed to be meeting with the guy this week. So if you don't know how to do that, it's in our site. It's simple to do, but video text, not just video, not just the voice. They identify with you. They can see who you are, and it's not something that's said. One of the things I hate about emails and texts is you don't see where somebody's heart is. In a video text, you absolutely see where their heart is, and I think it makes it easier for the seller to relate with you.
Where do I locate the information you were talking about at the beginning? The letters. Do I have to watch the whole video again to get that? Or is
What
it
whole video? For what?
the training video that you were talking about? I'm going to stumble on this because I don't know the language.
Are you talking about the video texting?
No, what you were recommending at the beginning of this course right now. And
the buyer explainer videos and the walkthrough videos and any other videos to add to your listings. Which
You ought to be doing the listing presentation with the actual contract, with the net sheets, with the closing statement. So your seller knows what you're doing from A to Z, and they can actually see something. Just because we start lower doesn't mean we're going to end lower.
The one that you were talking about, how you got the sell, and at the very beginning of this class, you were
my listing presentation.
Exactly
right?
that. Where is that? Where is the information for that? It's a course. It's a course. That's what I was saying. Do I have to watch the whole course to grab it?
Nope, there's at the end of the course,
module.
there's a lesson that's called course resources, and it has the links to everything that's referenced as a resource within the course.
Even if you pull up the courses, it'll have all the different modules. So you can choose, you don't have to watch all 2 hours. You can find the module where he's speaking. It's labeled.
Yes, I think it might look a little different to you guys, but over here, you obviously see the modules, and one of the last lessons, well, modules is called course resources. And if you open up, it just has everything that we've listed and linked out to earlier in the course all in one place. So you don't have to go digging to find something that was linked somewhere. If you're looking to just re-watch a specific thing, you don't have to go through the course. You can go to the specific module and watch what you want to do. So if you're just looking for how to take your listing live, you know, the agent remarks, the addendum, and then setting up your listing, you can just re-watch that module.
Well, I was looking for what Robert was talking about at the beginning. He's saying you need to be using his tools to help us get listings.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
so
about
you're
the Allen
probably
story?
talking about the net sheets and then the listing presentation. So those are actual resources, like the handouts. You can grab them from
I was gonna say,
right
Kat,
here.
if I can share my screen, I'll show what it looks like on my side.
The story you were talking about, you were saying you got to use the story.
Yeah, it's all in there. I promise.
Whoa, is he?
Here, see, you got Robert's story right here.
Yes.
Um,
And there was something else you mentioned that you said we needed to use.
Robert's
See the
story,
example
left-hand
net
side.
sheets. Yeah, Robert's story is the book. Example net sheets are the documents that you can use in your listing presentation. So if you need to learn the story, if you need to learn the verbiage, you can read this or go back through the course. If you just need the documents, you'd go to that resources panel. And not in training, Robert.
Okay.
See right there, it says example net sheets.
All right. So this is what I use for my listing presentation. And if you go through the listing presentation story, it's only the 13 pages that talks about the listing presentation. And there, the net sheets, listing presentation, executed offer. So everybody can see that. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the website. And let's go into the platform site. And then if we take a look at listings, we can go to close listings.
Yeah, I'm trying. Did you know that when the
Hang on, Shondell. This is the actual listing I use. This is my story listing.
Okay.
I go right down here and I show everybody the bids. Remember we talked about this home we listed at 379, whatever the heck it was. And the first offer that came in, remember the traditional amount? It was the after 9 agents, Keller Williams was the only agent that said he'd sell it at 400,000. Our very first offer that came in, by utilizing that story, the seller is watching the site 724. He's got his number. Don't come in at the 10% below market value. Come in whatever your buyer feels comfortable with, because my seller is watching this and they can tell me to pull it and yada yada yada. And what, Shondell, what doesn't this 410 include?
What does are you asking me what it doesn't include?
Yep.
It doesn't include the premium?
There you go. So 22 bids later, we ended up 451.5. Then we go over and show them the contracted price. So it ended up 451.5, and we had 6% buyer's premium. That's this amount right here. 478,590. And that's what's written on a purchase sale agreement. Buyer doesn't have to come out with any money out of pocket to cover the buyer's premium. It's all included in the purchase sale agreement. So all of that stuff is there for you. I use that when I go into a listing presentation. I use that every time, even today, even though that event was done back in 2021. The reason why I use it back in 2021 is because I got permission from all brokerages, the buyer and the seller, to use it as a training material. We've had a lot better events than that. My best one, $290,000 cash deal over purchase price. The site itself, Joe Petno, $309,000 over starting price. So, anyways, all right, you guys. I think that's enough fun for one day. So that's all in there. Take it and run with it. All right, Kat, if we can figure out where to get that offer into something, or maybe it's there somewhere, or
No, it's in the course, your documents, but the public facing, like the blog post asset, only had the net
Yeah.
sheets rather than the full documents.
okay.
So I can make all of that stuff public to non-students if you want me to add it in that place that you were looking.
Yeah, well, I mean, legitimately, that's what I use for my listing presentation. And everybody knows I have a hard copy of it as well. So maybe we should do a workshop on that again too. I think people are forgetting the basics of this. So, all right. Good job, Kat. Thank you. Shondell, thank you. Anybody else have anything? Obviously, I can't even find my own stuff on the website. I'm a bad guy to ask. So,
Thanks
all
for
right,
everything.
everybody. Thanks.